Hi everyone, it's Angela. Good morning. Today I have a little bit of a sore throat, so trying to get over this cold that will not leave, and I'm sure it has something to do with what is going on in our country and just the amount of of trauma that it has brought up for me, being a survivor of gun violence, having my father murdered when I was 16. Recently someone said on Facebook to me, oh, this is too emotional, take the emotion out. I'm doing this video blog today to say, fuck that. I mean, come on. The day that I take emotion out of this fight will be the day I fucking die. I mean, you don't know, and I'm not expecting anyone to know, but you're 16 years old and you watch a murder unfold in a living room. This is what happened. I watched the murder unfold, and the sheriff shows up at my house and tells me that my father is dead. My mother is disabled. My entire family is gone. In one instant, it's like, okay, mom goes into state care, I go in and live with family, and my entire life has been spent picking up the pieces of that and not letting my trauma define me. But I'm going to tell you something. If you want to tell me to take the emotion out of this, I want you to think about this for a minute. I want you to think about having not one, but 2 murder trials, having a death row sentence and having a retrial. And I want you to think about all these milestones in your life that you're trying to develop and heal from the trauma, the early childhood trauma of losing your parents this way. And you go back and you go to that courtroom and you look at those videos, and those videos are pictures of your loved one with bullet holes in their head. How do you take the emotion out of this? Now, yes, I have done lots of therapy, trauma therapy, EMDR, journaling, writing. I mean, there are so many things that I do because this tragedy, I refuse to fucking let it define me. I refuse. I do stuff every single day to make sure that this is not something that I hold on to, because my body wants to hold on to it, and it does some days, but I have to work through this. And every time this happens, every time in the media, I am so triggered, and I know that so many of my friends are. And that's not the reason I am saying this to you. I'm just saying, when you say take the emotion out of gun violence, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about unless you've actually been through it. You can sit there and say, oh, don't take my gun away. It wasn't your mom you were looking at her pictures on that screen. I mean, my brain will never forget the entrance wound, the exit wound, that people don't talk about that, Angela. Don't traumatize people. Fuck that. I see people laying there, and I know the story behind the story. I know the family's going to get the phone call. I know that they're going to have to look at those images over and over and over again, time after time. How do you not have an emotion with that? I mean, come on, people. This is enough. It's enough. I don't care about your gun. Have your freaking gun. If you're not the one we're worried about, why do you care? Sign the paper. Prevent laws. We do this for everything. We do it for Sudafed. We do it for traffic lights. You run a stop sign. I mean, we have to regulate this a little bit more. And no, there will always be people who are going to try to do harm. But if we prevent them and try to prevent them, one less family is going to not have to see these scenes. They're not going to have to go through this. And I don't think I could ever portray that to you enough until you lived it. And the other part of this is, I process everything through how I feel about it because of what I went through. I mean, I lived with so many families, and I felt things so deeply because of this trauma, deep and wide. I mean, I seriously feel everything. And I'm learning, to let some of that go, but it's the best quality of me. And I know this is true because I know what it feels like when somebody gets that call. And I know that I never want that to happen to you or your family. It sucks. So today I encourage you to stop saying take the emotion out of it, because I will never do that as long as I live. Have a good day.